with the understanding that they might lose their life. In fact, this was not even the first time that someone had stood up against Jeremy Christian. Antifa confronted Jeremy Christian in Montevilla and were called thugs for doing so. So if Christian would have stabbed one of them instead of the two heroes on the Max train, would we still refer to them as thugs? If we wait until a hero dies to applaud them for standing up to fascism, then we are discouraging such bravery. Don't wait until more anti-fascist activists die before we commend their sacrifice. Fascism is dangerous. What are we willing to do about it? The answer is currently very little. Some of us are willing to go to vigils. Some of us are willing to observe moments of silence. Others are even willing to donate to the victims' families. But very few of us are actually willing to make the sacrifice that those men made that day. But at what point did America go from celebrating D-Day and the storming of Normandy to condemning those who so much as punch a Nazi? Now, I want to be clear, I'm not advocating for violence. I'm advocating for taking a stand in the same manner that the heroes did on that fateful day on the Max train. After all, they are the heroes for a reason. I'm advocating for being willing to put your body on the line, and yes, even your life, to defend the most vulnerable among us from fascism and white supremacy. And let me note that that is far different than needless and unprovoked violence. That is self-defense. But even more importantly, it's community defense. Sometimes there's nobody there to see it. Sometimes the person you're standing up for won't even know it. So I have a message for all of us. First up, the Democrats, liberals, white moderates, progressives, anyone in between. If you're not sure this is you, ask yourselves, do I hate Donald Trump and his hateful rhetoric and his deplorable base? If the answer is yes, you're halfway there. Next round, do you also maybe despise the people amongst us that are wearing masks? Believe no one should wear a mask to a protest, or maybe you cry over broken windows and traffic and burned flags. If any of those apply, then you might be in this group. But what if Heather Heyer, the person who died in Charlottesville, wore a mask to a protest? What if Heather Heyer was someone you asked to leave a rally because they held a different ideology than you? What if Heather Heyer was someone you turned your back on because they were too radical for you? Or God forbid, what if she even broke a window? What if she chanted that all cops are bastards? What if you thought that she was to blame for Trump because she couldn't get behind Hillary Clinton? What if you spent more time on the internet complaining about her and people like her than you do talking about white supremacy, and then they killed her? How bad would you feel right now? Maybe you would be silent. Maybe you would feel guilt. I argue that most likely you would forget that you hated this person, join the chorus of people mourning her death, and call for action. At a minimum, I would hope that you would blame the murderer, not the victim. Well, guess what? The next Heather Heyer could be in your city. It could be the person wearing a mask at a protest that scares you so much. It could be the person you leave internet comments on local media about because you view them as destructive. You should treat everyone standing up against fascism in your area as if they are the next Heather Heyer. Don't wait until they're dead.